Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Okay, so just a short while ago I finished showing you my entire DVD collection. I showed it over 29 videos, and in that last video I said that was the final. Except the whole time I've been making those videos, I've been still going out and finding more stuff. So in fact, I've actually got about another 100 movies to show you. So in this video, I'm just going to show you what I picked up at one particular place, which involved me getting on a ferry and doing a bit of walk to find a video store. And I picked up some pretty interesting stuff, I think. So I'll show you what I got. Here we go. First up, we've got The Outrage. Well, this is an art house western directed by Martin Ritt and starring Paul Newman. And part of the outrage on this one, I guess, was the fact that it was actually remaking Akira Kurosawa's Rashomon. Didn't go down too well, but it's an interesting one nonetheless. Next, from director Sidney Lumet, and I think this is Rod Steiger's absolutely best performance. This is The Pawnbroker. Next, and we've got a film noir here directed by Edward Dmytryk and starring Robert Young, Robert Ryan and Robert Mitchum, and this is Crossfire. Next we've got this one, Sybil, and I very much remember watching this one back in the 80s on TV over a couple of nights. They spread it out. This is an Emmy-nominated and award-winning movie that stars Sally Field about multiple personality disorder, directed by Daniel Petrie. Next, and directed by Irving Kershner, who also directed Return of the Jedi. This is Sean Connery and Gene Seberg in A Fine Madness. Next, and directed by Blake Edwards, who also directed the Pink Panther movies. This is James Coburn in What Did You Do in the War, Daddy? And next, there was a whole series of Doctor movies, and this one is with Dirk Bogarde and James Robertson Justice, Doctor in Distress. What's the bleeding time? Next, a bit of blaxploitation, directed by Jack Starrett and starring Jim Brown. This is Slaughter, together with its sequel, Slaughter's Big Ripoff. And next, directed by Tony Richardson, we've got Peter Finch here and Rita Tushingham in The Girl with Green Eyes. London to Brighton car rally comedy here. We've got Genevieve. Definitely watched this one loads of times when I was young, starring Kenneth More. Next, we've got this jewellery heist drama thriller directed by Brian Forbes and starring Michael Caine, Deadfall. Next, whilst Steve McQueen had Le Mans and James Garner had Grand Prix, Paul Newman had Winning. Next, we've got a western that's also a whodunit. This is Robert Mitchum and Dean Martin in Henry Hathaway's Five-Card Stud. Next, we've got Dee Wallace, no, that's not her, and also a lot of slobbering from Cujo, adapted from the Stephen King novel. Next, we've got James Garner, Eva Marie Saint, and Rod Taylor in 36 Hours. Next, good one this, directed by Joseph Losey and with a script by Dalton Trumbo. This is Van Heflin and Evelyn Keyes in The Prowler. Next, an intriguing one this, we've got the pairing of Laurence Olivier and Simone Signoret in Term of Trial, and this one also co-stars Sarah Miles and an early role for Terence Stamp. Now, I've talked before on my channel about the films of Sidney J. Furie, and previously he did one with Cliff Richard and the Shadows, which was The Young Ones, but he also did this one, Wonderful Life. Intriguing one this, from 1970, we've got Gene Wilder and Margot Kidder in Quaxer Fortune Has a Cousin in the Bronx. Now, Richard Lester's famous for doing The Three Musketeers and The Four Musketeers with Oliver Reed and Richard Chamberlain and the like, but Ken Anakin also did this follow-up, The Fifth Musketeer, which has got Beau Bridges, Lloyd Bridges, Olivia de Havilland and Cornel Wilde as D'Artagnan, The Fifth Musketeer. Here's one that recently got reissued by Imprint. This is Elephant Walk with Elizabeth Taylor. All-star cast here, which includes Anthony Quinn, Franco Nero, Martin Balsam and Christopher Lee. This is The Salamander, directed by Peter Zinner. With cinematography by the great Jack Cardiff, this is Ava Gardner and James Mason in Pandora and the Flying Dutchman. Just look at the wonderful artwork on this one. Fabulous. Now, I'm very much a fan of director Brian Forbes, who's done movies such as Whistle Down the Wind and Seance on a Wet Afternoon. Here's one I haven't seen. This is The Mad Woman of Shalott with Katharine Hepburn. From 1976, we've got Robert Shaw, James Earl Jones, Peter Boyle, and Genevieve Bujold in Swashbuckler. Directed by Ida Lupino and starring Hayley Mills and Rosalind Russell, this is The Trouble with Angels. I'm still gradually increasing my Fox Film Noir collection, and this is directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz, Somewhere in the Night. Directed by Michael Ritchie, this is a good political drama with Robert Redford and Peter Boyle, The Candidate. A drama here that's about racial prejudice in 1940 in Georgia. This was a bit of a misfire for Otto Preminger. It's Hurry Sundown, starring Michael Caine and Jane Fonda. Going back to 1980 now, and I remember this movie coming out and I always wanted to see it, but I never did. This is Hazel O'Connor, a British pop star in Breaking Glass, also starring Phil Daniels. Really fantastic drama this, from the Dardenne brothers, starring Marion Cotillard. This is 2 Days, 1 Night, in which Marion Cotillard has to try and persuade her co-workers to forego their bonuses so that she can keep her job. Really good movie. Directed by Mike Nichols. I've got Jack Nicholson here and Warren Beatty in The Fortune. And directed by the great Basil Dearden. This is Masquerade, starring Cliff Robertson and Jack Hawkins. Early film this from director Jonathan Demme. This is Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn in Swing Shift. Lovely that they're still together after all these years. Paul Newman, Edward G. Robinson and Elka Sommer in The Prize, directed by Mark Robson. I'm pleased to find this one. This is The Queen of Spades, starring Anton Walbrook and Dame Edith Evans, directed by Thorold Dickinson. This one, again, has just been recently reissued by Imprint, I think. But yeah, Dame Edith Evans, I absolutely love her in the Brian Forbes movie, The Whisperers. So very much looking forward to this. A bit of finance, a bit of romance. This is James Garner and Natalie Wood in Cash McCall. A World War II drama here. You can get this one also on Blu-ray via Indicator, but this is a serious role for Peter Sellers in The Blockhouse, also starring Peter Vaughan. And here we have Naked Among Wolves. This is the first German film about life inside a concentration camp, Auschwitz, and this stars Armin Müller-Stahl, who also has appeared in a number of Hollywood films such as Music Box and Avalon. And then finally, directed by Paul Mazursky, I've got George Segal here, along with Chris Christopherson and Shelley Winters in Bloom in Love. Okay, so I think that's a pretty interesting mix of movies that I've picked up there at this store in Victoria. Let me know your comments on these. Have you seen any of these? Any thoughts on any of these? Always enjoy reading your feedback. Okay, but yes, I do have some more movies to show you that I picked up over the last few weeks, so I'll do another video shortly. Okay, I'm also working on another video at the moment about a particular director, so that'll be coming soon as well. But yeah, for now, please do leave me any comments that you have. Hope to see you again. Thanks very much for watching. All the best. Bye-bye.